It's all fresh, made on a monthly basis, not some old cruddy food they're selling you like some of the other guys. Try their new evacuation pack, a 2-week supply of delicious, easy-to-fix food. It comes with all the equipment you need to prepare it. With open talk of a strike on Iran in the next 3 months, the crisis in the Gulf, and possible evacuations, get yourself and your family ready today. The place to go is efoodsdirect.com. Go to their website online right now, efoodsdirect.com/Alex, or call 800-409-5633. Again, on the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex, or give them a call at 800-409-5633. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live, and investigative journalist Wayne Madsen is our guest. I want to go ahead and get into this article first before we go to him. This is from The Nation magazine, Blackwater's Black Ops. Over the past several years, entities closely linked to the private security firm Blackwater provided intelligence, training, and security services to U.S. and foreign governments, as well as several multinational corporations, including Monsanto, Chevron, the Walt Disney Corporation, Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, and the banking giants Deutsche Bank and Barclays, according to documents obtained by The Nation. Blackwater's work for corporations and government agencies are concentrated using 2 companies owned by Blackwater owner and founder Eric Prince, Total Intelligence Solutions and Terrorism Research Center. Prince is listed as the chairman of both companies in international company documents, which show how the web of companies functions as a highly coordinated operation. Officials from Total Intelligence, TRC, and Blackwater, which now calls itself XE Services, did not respond to numerous requests for comment for this article. Now, we know that they've used Blackwater in manhunts in the U.S. We know Blackwater was then Blackwater Worldwide, moved overseas. And we know that MI6 commandos with Special Air Services were caught in 2006. This is London Guardian, BBC, with fake beards, dressed up like Wahhabists, running around shooting and trying to kill Iraqi police in Basra to get the Shiites and Sunnis killing each other. And you know the government staged the Gulf of Tonkin, Operation Ajax. They had the plan of Operation Northwoods. We know in Army manuals that WikiLeaks have put out that they admit are real. They train Army captains who are in counterterrorism how to stage terror attacks. False flag. I mean, this is on record. Now, I respect Wayne Madsen, who worked for the NSA and Naval Intelligence and has written for some of the biggest publications in the country. Worked for the National Naval Data Automation Command, National Security, RCA, and, of course, Electronic Privacy Information Center. He's written for, again, Washington Post, you name it. And so I take what he says really serious, and I've never seen anything he's covered not turn out to be true, but he says he's got a source, of course, as a journalist, can't tell you who's witnessed this stuff, and that they're threatening to prosecute him if he doesn't basically shut up. And here's the article at WayneMadsenReport.com, Blackwater XE cells conducting false flag terror attacks in Pakistan. And so I tell you, this is one of your most bold reports ever, Wayne, and we know 2 years ago they denied Blackwater or XE was in Pakistan. They denied U.S. troops were there. They now admit they are there. General Hamid Gul, former head of Pakistani intelligence, has been on the show saying he believes private contractors, he didn't say Blackwater, but he said quite a few of these groups are there stirring things up. Because you got a multi-trillion-dollar defense budget every year. They're going to need a few billion in staged events. But I don't know if XE's involved in this. You say you do. So please break down what's going on here. This is big.
Well, what I found out was I've reported that Blackwater cells have been operating in Pakistan previous. What was surprising about this latest information was that Blackwater cells are behind some of the terrorist bombings in Pakistan, especially those that have been directed against Pakistan's Shia minority. And there have been a few of those, just one not long ago that killed several people in an annual Shia religious ceremony. So the idea that Blackwater is engaged in false flag terrorist attacks that are then blamed on the Taliban, I think, raises the ante in Pakistan. And as I reported previously to this report, the whole idea is to destabilize Pakistan to give the United States, India, and Israel an opportunity to go in and seize Pakistan's nuclear weapons.
Now, let's go through your report. You say you've got an eyewitness source on this, and you're saying it's meant to get Shiites and Sunnis killing each other. We know in confirmed previous cases with special air services of the British military that that's what they were doing. So this fits that overall MO, but this is very bold if if your source is correct and XE is doing this.
Yes, and not only are they doing it, but the source who was in Pakistan and witnessed this is now receiving all kinds of threats from the CIA and the Federal Bureau of Investigation that if this information goes public, that the source and the source's family could be put in some sort of jeopardy with the law enforcement community. So here we have American citizens being pressured not to talk, and I think this goes with the whole Obama administration program of trying to curtail leaks, censor the news, and in this case, direct threats on people is something that I know we had cases of it during the Bush administration, but it seems to be now institutionalized as a practice by the Obama administration.
Well, let's be as specific as you can. I mean, why protect the source, or why does the source not want their name out if the establishment knows who they are and is threatening them? I would think they'd want to go public. So can you tell us why you're not releasing their name, or why they don't want that, A? And B, are they Army? Did they work for XE? Were they another contractor group? I mean, give us the specifics.
Well, the source basically was an investigator. I wouldn't say a full-scale journalist, but definitely someone who was investigating what was going on in Pakistan. And the issue is that the threats have been made against the source and the source's family. So it has to do with immigration status because of the nature of the person's immigration status.
Was this somebody they were using as an interpreter or something?
Yeah, these are not people born in the United States. These are naturalized U.S. citizens.
And have you met face to face with this person?
I have.
Because I know every time I'm watching C-SPAN, they're having a national security hearing. I can see you there in the gallery, and I know you frequent the press club. Because if the system knows who they are, I guess they're not going public because they've been threatened. Hey, we're going to deport you if you talk about this. But I'd think they're in great danger, just like I told the D.C. madam this, and many others that have been killed if they don't go public. Right, and that may happen eventually, but at the present time, of course, the FBI and the CIA are on their, in their threatening mode. And of course, you met with the D.C. madam right before they killed her. I did. And I begin to think that if I meet somebody, it's not a good thing for them. But definitely, this is a government. We say Obama, Bush. There's no change between the Bush administration and the Obama administration when it comes to this type of harassment of individuals who have witnessed things overseas. So from your source, as much as you can tell us that a lot's in the report, but as much as you can tell us, is XE arming one group and then they're attacking others? Or, specifically, what did they say that they witnessed XE do? Basically, XE being responsible for terrorist attacks inside Pakistan that are then blamed in all the press releases and information coming out of the U.S. government being blamed on the Pakistani Taliban. And we've had some cases where the Pakistani Taliban has not claimed responsibility, but there's also a distinct possibility that people are claiming responsibility in the name of the Pakistani Taliban after these U.S. mercenaries conduct these terrorist operations to make it look like. And the Pakistani Taliban's coming out and saying, we're not doing this. Absolutely. In some cases, that's exactly right. They're trying, of course, to gain popularity within Pakistan. And now there's reports coming out that the Taliban, Pakistani Taliban, was providing aid to all these
millions and millions of flood victims when, in fact, the Pakistani government wasn't even responding to their needs. So they're not interested, I don't think, in killing people when the Pakistani government by default did a lot of killing by not providing immediate assistance to the flood victims.
Well, it's the old divide and conquer. Get these different religious and sectarian groups stirred up, killing each other. I go back to that Army manual that WikiLeaks released 2 years ago, and the Pentagon admitted, yeah, that's a classified manual. And it says right there how to stage false flags to get the indigenous people on your side. You go out and kill some of them and then blame it on your enemy. I mean, Wayne, again, for those that don't know, has broken so many big stories, is the real deal. That's why I give this credibility, but I have no way of proving this. I mean, how did you vet this source? I mean, how do we know this is true?
Well, I met the source and the source's interlocutor personally, and after hearing the story, I mean, and it wasn't news to me because I had heard about Blackwater Z doing this in the past from additional sources who were inside Pakistan and also inside Afghanistan. This was just another source.
Are you worried about Prince coming after you?
Prince? Well,
yes.
No, I think he's afraid. He's afraid of people in this country. He's hightailed it over to Abu Dhabi with his family. I guess he figures he's going to start making money over there under the protection of the United Arab Emirates. So the man claims he's a Navy SEAL and he's very patriotic. So patriotic he flees the United States for an Arab sheikhdom.
Well, I'm not. I mean, we know who these people are, though, and we know it's come out and been reported that, and of course, they denied this previously, that they were in Pakistan. They denied that they were part of CIA hit teams. But hasn't that now been coming out even in mainstream news?
Oh, absolutely. We've got, we've got the Senate Armed Services Committee now issuing part of a report showing how Blackwater Z used all these shell companies to get all these federal contracts.
Yeah, that's in the nation. I mean, they're involved with Monsanto. Does that mean domestically when Monsanto trespasses to test your plants? Who knows? It may be former CIA spooks.
I mean, I think this is a problem nationwide. We have another report today out of Pennsylvania that Governor Rendell's Homeland Security chief hired an Israeli company to spy on peaceful protesters who were protesting everything. They were protesting for gay rights. They were protesting against.
In fact, let me stop you. Will you call Kurt Nimmo in here? Because he reported on this yesterday, and the governors had to apologize. But I didn't know it was an Israeli company. I know they're training most of our Homeland Security. That's even worse. A foreign. I mean, the ADL's basically the same thing. I said this looked like a local ADL group. They paid $125,000 to create these reports. But yeah, Tea Parties, gay rights activists, everybody being listed as terrorists. And you're saying, Wayne, it's an Israeli company.
It's absolutely an Israeli company. It operates out of a post office box in Philadelphia and another post office box in Jerusalem. But I would note that the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and Huffington Post and other media outlets have ignored the Israeli connection.
Oh, no, it's the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette that within... And they have this beat writer who basically is a shill for the ADL Southern Poverty Law Center. Within 2 hours of Poplawski killing those cops, they came out and said he did it for Alex Jones. I forced retractions. But that shows that within 2 hours of these cops being dead, they tried to frame me for causing it when it turned out he was a white supremacist who hated me. I mean,